Welcome to the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. The movie starts out with these weird pirates singing the SpongeBob theme song and end up in the movie theater. They seriously don't act like their age, but let's ignore that for a moment. We see a crime scene outside of the Krusty Krab where a customer needs cheese on his Krabby Patty and SpongeBob acts like an adult for the first time and settles things. Round of applause, guys. He slowly places the cheese on the patty. Then he realizes it's just a dream and heads to work. Perch Perkins announces the opening of the second Krusty Krab. I don't see the reason to open two of the same restaurants beside each other, but you do you, Mr. K. Plankton sinks into self-pity and he's like, fuck crabs, I will ruin that MFer's life. And suddenly Karen reminds him that there is a plan Z and Plankton's like, mwahahaha. Meanwhile, Mr. Krabs announces the new manager of the Krusty Krab to be Squidward Tentacles. Mr. Krabs corrects SpongeBob and tells him that he's just a kid. Later that same evening, King Neptune punishes a crown polisher for touching the crown as if it's not his job. Plankton finds a right time to steal the crown and flees. SpongeBob and the boys eat ice cream at Goofy Goober's to soothe their depression. They end up spending the night at the ice cream parlor. SpongeBob then wakes up on the floor of Goofy Goober's with a weird alcoholic effect and decides to go to the Krusty Krab. And wait, where the hell did his shoe go? Mr. Krabs starts to skyrocket the prices when King Neptune arrives. Neptune then accuses Mr. Krabs of stealing the crown and Patrick starts to ruin the negotiation and ends up losing 4 days. Genius, I know. Neptune insists SpongeBob and Patrick to return the crown within 6 days or he will execute Mr. Krabs. Mindy then warns SpongeBob and Patrick about the dangerous monsters and killers out in the streets, but Patrick seems to care about nothing but Mindy's appearance. Then Mindy gives him a bag of wind. SpongeBob and Patrick start getting serious and hop in the Patty Wagon and drive away. Suddenly, Plankton arrives to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula and starts teasing Mr. Krabs. SpongeBob and Patrick arrive at a gas station where the attendants are acting like a bunch of clowns. They bet SpongeBob and Patrick will not last 10 seconds over the county line, but they actually do. Ha! In your face! Perch Perkins interviews the success of Plankton's Krabby Patty business. Plankton gives free bucket helmets to all his customers and Karen warns him about getting caught. Plankton then hires Dennis to kill the two invertebrates. SpongeBob and Patrick realize that the journey is way too long, but finally realize their car is parked outside a tough guy bar. They look inside and decide to get the key back. When they go inside, they start having a bubble party and a tough man at the bar notices a bubble and makes everybody line up. SpongeBob and Patrick start melting due to the desire to sing along, and thankfully the conjoined twins get blamed and beaten up. Squidward finds out about Plankton's scheme and gets demolished by the robots. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. Meanwhile, the Neanderthals come across an ice cream parlor which appears to be a trap. A fucking trap that a monster supposedly made. We see Dennis blowing bubbles to identify the blower and punches the numbskull fish after he said senseless shit to him. SpongeBob and Patrick saw a monster being killed in front of their eyes and are like, oh no, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead. They start to give up and Patrick runs like an infant in his underpants and falls over like a baby. Mindy appears and before anything is said, Patrick pulls up his pants and then Mindy shows them Plankton's world and says, don't give up, guys. She's like, you gotta believe in yourself. Like, bitch, you go find Neptune's crown. Why are you telling me to believe in myself when you are Neptune's fucking daughter? She then uses her mermaid magic to turn them into men. Yeah, totally. A fake mustache turns anyone into a man. Even me. SpongeBob and Patrick then jump into a giant monster pit swamp looking ass and surprisingly don't die. When they finally got their confidence back, they started singing the men song. When the monsters are about to eat them, they do this cool looking body slapping dance which I attempted in the 4th grade to act cool but ended up embarrassing myself. They suddenly hurt the monster widow feelings. Dennis is like, I'm gonna murder your little butt and rips off the mustache calling it fake and then grows a mustache in like 1 second. Dennis does an oopsie and tells SpongeBob and Patrick the truth and then gets smooshed by a human foot. The human literally runs after SpongeBob and Patrick and grabs them like, you are mine, baby. They wake up in a fishbowl and oh my goodness, those fish are dead. What the hell is this idiot doing with the lives of these poor creatures? The human looks through his torture briefcase and makes a knickknack out of a clam showing them their future. He grabs Sponge and Pat and places them under a lamp to frickin' vaporize them or something. They gradually become old and dry and start crying a teardrop or whatever they want to call it. They also realize they're in Shell City and holy crap, why the fuck is that crown only $7? You telling me Neptune is killing someone over a couple of bucks? Man, you cruel. They eventually dry up and turn into toys. Cut back and we see the grown-ass pirates crying over the death of SpongeBob and how they don't want a sad ending. The teardrop fuses a light bulb, which causes the smoke to hit the fire detectors, which turns on the sprinklers. All the fish start coming back to life and start whooping the human's ass. SpongeBob and Patrick leave Shell City and Patrick hands SpongeBob the bag of wind. And holy crap, what the hell is that? Did he take a doo-doo in his pants? Oh my god, Patrick, you're nasty. They lose a bag of wind and randomly David Hasselhoff's appears to help them. Meanwhile, King Neptune arrives to the Krusty Krab to kill Mr. Krabs. They are being chased by Dennis. Plankton is eating popcorn ready to watch his enemy die. Patrick acts like a big shot and gets smacked by Dennis and lands on David's foot. Dennis stabs David in the butt cheeks and doesn't feel pain. SpongeBob offers 5 goober dollars to Dennis to get him off their butt. David then hits the roof of the boat. He is going to feel that tomorrow for sure. After that long journey, they finally reach Bikini Bottom. David places those two plus the crown in between his chest and shoots them to the Krusty Krabs, where they reflect the fire thingy and burn Hasselhoff's, even though he literally saved the day. It looks like a happy ending, but Plankton sends a mob of robot fishes including Neptune to run after SpongeBob. When Plankton laughs at SpongeBob for being a kid, he gives a goddamn speech and morphs into a goofy goober. SpongeBob then gets the magical guitar and destroys all the helmets. The mob of normal fishes squish Plankton and he gets arrested. Neptune is relieved that his crown is back safe and sound, so he decides to unfreeze Mr. Krabs. Patrick lowers SpongeBob to the floor and Mr. Krabs apologizes for not promoting SpongeBob and takes that shitty badge off Squidward and places it on his chest. This movie gets a 9 Hasselhoffs out of 10. Let me know if you guys want more movie explanations and I'll see you guys next time.